If a woman throws these questions at you, it's a hidden signal. Sex is sitting at the very top of her priority list. Most guys assume women bring up sex directly when it's on their minds. Wrong. The reality is, women disguise their desires inside casual, harmless-sounding questions. Questions that secretly show you when intimacy is burning hotter in her head than anything else. Stay with me, because the last one exposes her deepest craving, and once you recognize it, you'll never read her the same way again. If you're new here, we drop daily dating advice for men. Share your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe so you keep leveling up. 1. Do you think physical chemistry matters more than emotional connection? At first glance, this feels like she's just starting a thoughtful conversation. But here's the truth. Women don't bring up physical chemistry unless they're already craving it. It's like someone randomly asking about spicy food after secretly daydreaming about hot wings all week. That question didn't come out of nowhere, it's driven by hunger. She's not just asking for your opinion, she's testing you. She wants to know if you value what she secretly values most. If you brush it off and say emotional connection is all that matters, she'll smile politely, but inside, you've told her you don't prioritize the fire she's obsessed with. What she's actually looking for is permission. Permission to lean into her desire without shame. If you signal you understand that spark, her guard drops, because you've just unlocked her unspoken truth. Physical passion is her non-negotiable. 2. Would you still want me if something about me changed, like my body or vibe? Sounds like insecurity, right? Wrong. This isn't about fishing for compliments. It's a stress test. When she mentions her body or energy, she's checking how deep your desire runs. For her, sex isn't just an activity, it's the force that makes the whole relationship feel alive. If you answer flatly, "Of course I'd still want you," it feels safe but passionless. Safe to her is like a polite handshake when she's craving lightning. What she's really tuning into is your energy. The way your voice drops, the way your eyes lock onto hers, like you're barely holding back. That's when she knows sex isn't a side note, it's the heartbeat between you. 3. Do you ever think about us in that way? Notice how vague this is. She doesn't define what "that way" means, and that's intentional. She's leaving the door open for you to set the frame. If you shrug and play it cool, asking her what she means, you've just flipped the script, and her eyes will light up. If you fumble or nervously laugh it off, you've told her you're not catching the signal. When she says, "that way," she's really hinting at desire she's imagined but won't spell out. It's her tossing a spark into the air to see if you'll ignite. 4. Why do you think some couples lose the spark? This one sounds like small talk, but the choice of words gives her away. She didn't ask about fights or breakups. She said, "the spark." That's her true fear, losing the electric charge that keeps intimacy alive. She's not after a therapist's answer about communication. She wants a co-conspirator who treats passion as a living thing that needs to be fed. If you dismiss it with clichés, you'll miss her. But if you lean into it, you'll hear her unspoken admission. Sex isn't optional for her. It's the glue. 5. Do you notice how people look at us when we're out? On the surface, this seems like she's fishing for reassurance. But it's not about strangers, it's about you. What she really wants to know is whether your desire for her radiates so strongly that others can feel it. She wants the world to sense the private current between you two. If you shrug it off, she'll feel let down. But if you lean in with something only she can hear, making her pulse quicken, you confirm what she craves, that your passion for her burns so brightly, it shapes how people see you both. 6. Would you still want me if we couldn't, you know? Looks like a love versus lust question, but it's really a confession. She doesn't want the noble yes. Deep down, what she's begging to know is, am I the woman who sets you on fire? If you act like physical connection doesn't matter, she hears, I'd settle for you. Settling kills desire. The real answer isn't words, it's the way your eyes tell her that going without intimacy is unthinkable. 7. Do you think other women notice you like that? Men think this is about jealousy. It's not. It's about validation. If other women notice your energy, it reassures her that her own attraction isn't exaggerated. She's also testing whether you own your magnetism. If you downplay it, she'll feel deflated. But if you acknowledge it calmly, without arrogance, you're showing her you're aware of your power, and that what you share burns hotter than any outside attention. 8. What's the wildest thing you've ever thought about doing with someone? This is her way of exploring her own fantasies without exposing them. By framing it around you, she gives herself deniability. She doesn't actually care about the exact answer. She cares about your freedom to speak openly. If you censor yourself or act ashamed, she feels disconnected. What she really wants is a man who makes desire safe and alive, where exploration isn't judged but celebrated. 9. Do you ever just feel it out of nowhere? This one sounds random, but feel it isn't about moods. It's about raw physical energy hitting her like a wave. She asks because she wants to know if you get it too. If you dismiss it with a literal answer, you've lost her. But if you pause and smile like you know exactly what she means, she feels deeply understood. Suddenly, you're the one man she can surrender that private truth to. 10. Why do you think people cheat? It looks like a moral question, but notice, she didn't ask why people lie, she asked about cheating. That's about unmet desire. She's probing if you understand the kind of hunger that makes someone cross a line. If you give a safe answer about selfishness, you shut the door. But if you acknowledge the raw truth, that people chase passion when it dies, she realizes you see what most men miss. Sex isn't a bonus. It's a need. 11. Do you think we're too much? This usually comes out softly, maybe late at night. She's not asking about drama, she's asking about intensity, the kind that scares her because it's so big. Most of her life, she's been told to tone it down. With you, she doesn't want to. If you reassure her blandly, you miss it. But if you tell her, no, we're exactly enough, you've shown her you crave that same, too much energy. That's lightning to her. 12. Do you ever wonder what it would be like if we weren't us? Sounds like a breakup question, but it's not. It's about forbidden fantasy. She's admitting, without saying it outright, that part of the thrill is imagining what couldn't happen finally happening. If you shut it down with, I'd never want anyone else, you kill the spark. But if you play into it with something like, if we weren't us, I'd be losing my mind wanting you, you've given her the forbidden flavor she secretly craves. 13. Do you think other couples are as close as we are? This isn't about comparison, it's about uniqueness. She wants to know if what you share is rare or just average. If you answer casually, she'll be disappointed. But if you make it clear no one else could have what you two have, she'll believe your passion is singular. And when she feels that, she'll protect it fiercely. 14. Do you think passion fades, or does it evolve? This sounds mature, but underneath it's a plea. She's asking if your desire will survive long term. Most men say it evolves, which to her just means dulls. The answer that lights her up? That passion doesn't fade, it changes form, but it stays just as alive. When you say this with conviction, you've given her the reassurance she needs most. 15. Do you think about me when I'm not around? Looks sweet, but it's not about missing her. She wants to know if the sexual charge between you echoes even in her absence. If you respond vaguely, it means nothing. But if you give her something real, the way her scent lingered on your hoodie, or how you couldn't focus because you kept replaying last night, she feels consumed by you. That's what she's secretly craving. 16. Do you think I'm too much for other men? This isn't arrogance, it's fear. She's probably been told before she's too intense or too needy. What she's really asking is if you're the rare man who not only accepts her but wants her exactly as she is. If you hesitate, you confirm her fears. But if you tell her firmly she's perfect for you, she finally feels safe to be fully alive, fully sexual, fully herself. 17. Do you ever feel like we're breaking the rules? This is the most revealing one. It may sound playful, but it's her admitting that your connection feels almost dangerous, too powerful to fit inside the ordinary. She doesn't want sex to be polite or tame. She wants it to feel forbidden, like it bends rules just by existing. If you brush it off, you miss the depth of what she's saying. But if you lean in and tell her, good, rules were never made for us, you give her full permission to surrender. And once she does, everything changes. High Voltage up next. Discover the subtle things women do when they're nervous but secretly turned on, or the psychological signs she has a high drive she's trying to hide.